Can you believe that?
In Derby, it's just after 3 p.m.
Did you see that?
No, missed it.
There's a person driving with their sat-nav there. It's like having a flipping iPad in front of your face.
And a phone in front of them, I believe.
Traffic cop Carl Jackson and local officer Matt Cork are on patrol in Normanton, on the outskirts of the city.
It's quite a densely populated area, lots of terrace houses, small side streets with speed bumps to slow the traffic down. A huge variety of people that live there, basically.
Even though Carl's only been a traffic cop for 4 years, he's already become an expert in spotting danger on the roads.
She's got a child on her lap. Has she done one? I just want to stop it and see if these children are secured in this car. Because I'm fairly certain the backseat passenger had... I could just see a little child's head. And I'm thinking it was on the lap of the woman in the back. This bike's not helping matters.
As they get closer to the Gulf, the driver starts accelerating.
He's done one, hasn't he?
No.
Do you?
Yeah.
That child on her lap. Excuse me. Excuse me. Come here. Is this your daughter?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you were sat here, weren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. And where was your daughter?
She's in my face. Like literally, she was crying too much. She want to
Okay.
have a feed.
Yeah.
Need to
Right.
feed her.
You cannot, under any circumstances, drive a car and be a passenger with a child on your lap.
Sorry,
This is your
daughter.
You're flesh and blood, yeah?
Yeah.
And if you drive like that and have an accident, I've just seen the way you've driven over them speed bumps, not slowly, right? And you've got a child on the lap in the back.
She was crying. That's why she won't feed.
Well, she'll cry a lot more if you have a crash, won't she? Or maybe she'll never cry again if you have a crash.
There is only one booster seat in the back of this car, so whether or not she was crying is irrelevant. Which seat was she going to be sat in if she wasn't crying? Because a child of that age should not be in a booster seat.
There is a seat, but literally what happened here, the seat was broken and then...
No.
Sorry.
I know you're all very, very sorry, but you've all made the conscious decision to make that journey the way you just have. And you have driven, I can see you trying to get further away from me, and the reason being is you want to get here, so is this your wife?
Yeah.
Yes.
So she can get out the car with the kid and get into a house before I can stop you. So you can say, I don't know what you're on about, officer. That's the idea of what you were just doing, isn't it? Am I right?
Yeah.
I am, aren't I? Yeah, I wasn't born yesterday.
This says how hard you were hitting those speed bumps, mate.
Yeah, this changed today, sorry.
Huh?
Yeah, already today I going now.
Today?
Yeah.
Mate, you've blown your tyre out.
Now.
You've burst your tyre now. Look at it, it's flat.
Sorry.
Because you were trying to get away from me. With a child in a lap, no seatbelt, you've driven that hard over those speed bumps, you've burst your tyre.
This all
I can see you bouncing down the road.
Like we just have a like MOT
Yeah.
2-3 days ago. We just literally have a MOT and pass.
Yeah, what's that got to do with how he's just driven?
Sorry. Yeah.
You're responsible for her safety.
Yeah.
That's
And you've shown absolute, complete disregard for that, for your own daughter.
I have
That upsets me.
Sorry. Sorry.
It just sickens me that someone would risk the injury to their own flesh and blood. If you look inside this car, there is one car seat, a booster seat, which is designed for children that are taller than and older than 1.5 years old. So that child hasn't even got a car seat in the car. He could be involved in an accident caused by somebody else. If that happens, that child is likely going to be seriously injured or worse, killed. Right, as the driver of this car, you're responsible as the driver for all your passengers. Okay? So I know you're an adult and you've decided to sit your daughter on your lap, but you as the driver are responsible to say, I ain't driving this car anywhere until everybody's properly restrained. If you don't do that, you commit the offence.
Next time it's never ever
Next
happen
time,
like this.
please.
We apologize.
No, it won't do. But
Yeah.
you will get some paperwork for what's happened today. You're going to be reported
Yeah.
for that offence.
Okay.
You
We
cannot
have-
drive like that. It is ridiculous. Children and mum, if you want to go, you can.
Oh, okay.
Back seat. He'll get reported for the offence, and then some form of punishment will be dished out to him. But I hope, regardless of the punishment, I hope if I ever see him driving again, all his kids are restrained properly. That's the thing. He needs to learn from it, because I do not want to go to a collision where that poor 1.5-year-old is seriously injured or killed because he can't be bothered to make sure they're all restrained properly. That's what I don't want.
I'm really sorry about that. Fine,
Thank you, sir.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's as a traffic cop, we need to keep the roads safe and the people that use them safe as best we can. And one way of doing that is enforcing the law on restraints on seatbelts and children in cars. And it amazes me that we have to enforce that. I don't understand why parents can't self-enforce the fact that they need to have a child in a car seat. That shouldn't be something that we have to deal with, but unfortunately we deal with it far too often.
Very good.
Every year, hundreds of lives are saved because of car seats and seatbelts, especially when speed has been involved.
We could all be involved in some sort of accident, be it our own fault or somebody else's fault. You don't know what's round the corner. So you need to restrain people in the car.
I'm amazed at what's just happened.
Sorry about that.
Absolutely amazed.
The family man who raced away from Carl Jackson whilst his daughter was sat on his wife's lap was reported for careless driving and driving with a child unrestrained. He is awaiting a court appearance
You've blown your tyre out.
and could possibly face a fine of up to £500.